Hey guys, Ace Liam here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you for all the support on this series. A whole bunch of you have been popping into my Twitch streams while I'm live and being like, hey Liam, just want you to know, WTF Moments is my favorite series on your channel. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you keep making it forever. And I'm really happy to hear it because I love making this content. So if you're like those people as well and you're ready for more WTF Moments, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you just so much for everything, for all that support. It's really cool. Like, I love that I've brought something new to the channel that you guys really enjoy. And you know, let's go for 1,000 likes if we can. That'd be great. 1,000 people saying, yes, I like this video will be really cool. Hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. And of course, share this video with a friend. But without further ado, let's take a look at the WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 36, The Bridge Bike Gang. We start the episode with Ash, Misty, and Brock walking through some random city when we get this direct quote from Ash.
Hey, what's that thing?
And Ash actually gets really excited about whatever it is he's seen in the distance, and they all run to go and check it out. So what is it? What could it possibly be? What has got Ash so excited? Is it a rare Pokemon? Is it a legendary Pokemon? What could it possibly be? It's a bridge. It's literally a bridge. How could he not tell that that thing was a bridge? Even from a distance. Numpty. A security guard at the bridge tells Ash and Co that they can't cross the bridge because it's not complete yet. And then we get this shot of the bridge under construction, and I assume it's from the point of view of Ash and the gang, but what's with the layout of this bridge? Like, if you look at the angle of the section of the bridge that has the cranes and stuff compared to the angle of the bridge that we see in the foreground, presumably where Ash and Co are standing, it looks like it's almost doubling back on itself, or is at least at like a right angle. Why would anybody design a bridge to zigzag like that? Don't get me wrong, I know some bridges are designed with intentional curves, but severe angles like this? It's insane. The guard reckons the bridge is over 10 miles long, but let's be real, if it wasn't for all those zigzags, the bridge would probably only be a mile across. Oh, and for those of you watching in continental Europe, 10 miles is about 16.09 kilometers. So yeah, if you're interested, if you're bothered, there you go. It's ridiculously long. That's what she said. I hate myself so incredibly much. Now, the road part of the bridge for cars to go across isn't finished, but the guard reckons that the cycle path is complete, so Ash and Co could cross the bridge if they had bikes. What's that? Bicycles? Oh, Ash, this is not going to end well for you, mate. According to Misty, if Ash hadn't completely destroyed her bike, they could all be heading across the bridge right now. Not being funny, but I really can't see Misty, Ash, and Brock all fitting comfortably on the same single bicycle, especially not for 10 miles. Use your head, Misty. Now, our heroes can't afford bikes, so they're going to have to figure out another plan. How about just not going to Sunnytown, the place on the other side of the bridge, and just going somewhere else in the meantime? Like, there's not even a gym in Sunnytown. What's the point? What's there that's so important? In the Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy asks Ash, Misty, and Brock if they could help her. Imagine that. Imagine sitting in the waiting room of a veterinary surgery or something. That's like the real world equivalent, isn't it? And one of the veterinary nurses comes over and is like,
Oh, excuse me, can you help me with my work, please?
you'd look at them like they were mad. They don't work there, Joy. Do your own bloody work. Apparently, this Nurse Joy is the cousin of the Nurse Joy in Gringy City, which really isn't something to brag about because the Joy in Gringy City was shit. Also, has it really only been 5 episodes since we've seen a Nurse Joy? Feels like ages. Nurse Joy needs to deliver some medicine to a sick Pokemon at the Sunnytown Pokemon Center, but can't go herself because she's too busy tending to the sick Pokemon in her Pokemon Center. See, to all the employers out there, this is why you don't schedule just one person to run an entire shift on their own. It never ever works. Ash says they'd be happy to help, but they can't cross the bridge because they don't have bicycles. And Joy is like, oh, you can use some of the Pokemon Center's bicycles. There's literally only one staff member running the whole place. Why do they have multiple bicycles? It's not even a WTF moment, but oh god, this scene starts with an orchestrated version of the red and blue bike theme, and it's so good. Ash's bike makes a bell sound despite not having a bell. Go figure. I know I mentioned this point just moments ago, but there is only one member of staff working at the Pokemon Center, so why is there a tandem bike? Who's Joy going to have been riding this with? A bike gang turns up, and as if being in a bike gang isn't cringy enough, like it's literally impossible to look look tough on a bicycle. The gang's emblem is just a shitty bike wheel with crap wings. That is painfully lame. Brock instantly asks out the green-haired girl and just proves he really will just ask anybody out, won't he? This guy really needs to set himself some standards. He literally reeks of desperation. Trust me, mate, you'll never pull a girl by begging. The girl twats Brock with her bike and says she only cares about her bike and her gang. Well, there you go, Brock. You know what to do now. Join the gang. The leader of the bike gang challenges Ash to a Pokemon battle, and Ash sends out Bulbasaur against the bike gang leader's Golem. And the guy's Golem just tucks in its head, its arms, and its legs into its rocky exterior shell, and then is somehow completely immune to Bulbasaur's Vine Whip, which should be 4 times effective. The bike gang's leader is a hacker. Confirmed. Direct quote from Bulbasaur after being hit by Golem's tackle attack.
Sire!
Bulbasaur, are you alright there, mate? It sounds like Golem legitimately killed you. When Bulbasaur is defeated by Golem, Ash returns it to its Pokeball and then sends out Charmander. Charmander, a Fire-type Pokemon, to take on Golem, a rock and ground type Pokemon. For God's sake, Ash, at least try. Ash gets Charmander to use Flamethrower and Fire Spin on the opposing Golem. Yeah, that'll do it. Surprisingly, it does, and the guy is forced to call Golem back. And somehow the heat is transferred to the outside surface of the Pokeball. I'm pretty sure that is complete bollocks. Now, that joke that you want me to make about the female trainer sending out Cloyster and Cloyster vaguely resembling a vagina is just some real low-hanging fruit, mate.
Well, Liam, that's never stopped you before, has it?
Oh yeah, you're right. Ha! The girl sent out a Pokemon that looks like a minge. Why don't we do that when blokes send out Sudowoodo? According to Dexter, Cloyster's shell only opens when it attacks. Well, that's just a flat-out lie. Clearly, the Cloyster in this picture in the Pokedex had its shell open when the photographer was taking a photo of it. Unless you're trying to tell me that this particular Cloyster attacked the photographer after this photo was taken. Is that what you're saying? Direct quote from Misty.
It's a water Pokemon. Just leave it to me.
Hang on, love. That is not how it works. Just because you're supposedly good at training water-type Pokemon, which arguably you've yet to prove, that doesn't mean that you are automatically really skilled at fighting water-type Pokemon. Plus, with the Pokemon you've got on you, what are you really going to be able to do?
Misty wanted to use Starmie, but Psyduck came out instead, like always. I'm 6 years old, and this is very funny.
Peak comedy right here. The bike gang finds Psyduck's pathetic experience side-splittingly funny and can't stop laughing. I mean, it's just a duck. Is it really that funny? Even Ash starts laughing. What a crap friend. A good friend, though, of this channel at least, is G Fuel, and they are giving you 30% off until September the 7th. Aren't you lucky? Oh my lord, you can get wonderful flavors like Nemesis Tea for 30% off if you use code ACE right now. Go do it. Get yourself some Nemesis Tea. Get yourself one of the other banging flavors. It's great stuff. I love it. You'll love it. Trust me, use code ACE, get yourself 30% off G Fuel, and thank me later. Psyduck tries to use Tail Whip on Cloyster, and one of Cloyster's spikes just slightly pokes Psyduck and it starts freaking out. And Misty sighs and tells Psyduck,
You were supposed to be the one attacking.
but it was using Tail Whip, which is not an attacking move.
Well, actually, Liam, perhaps in the anime, Tail Whip is meant to be more like an actual attacking move rather than a stat-lowering one, like an actual strike with the tail.
Listen, why are you defending the show's writers? They don't give a damn who you are, and they're going to continue to keep making mistakes without a care in the world because you keep letting them, because you will blindly accept anything that they throw at you. You should be using your voice to tell Pokemon to be better, but instead you're just a mindless consumer. Sorry, went a bit BBND on you there. Imagine giving that much of a shit. Psyduck can't remember how to do its disable or confusion attacks. I know I defended it before, but at this point it just deserves to be bullied. It's making Misty look like a right mug. Honestly, she should just release it. Misty is so eager for Psyduck to get a headache so it can unleash its power that she lifts up a bicycle ready to throw at it. Luckily, a loud siren interrupts the battle, but God, no wonder Peter hates this show.
Liam, when you said Peter, I thought you meant Peter, and I was like, who's Peter? And then I realized.
Oh shit, mate, did I steal your comment? Team Rocket T-posing on unicycles. What more needs to be said? So it turns out Jesse and James were part of a bike gang on on this bridge when they were younger, but then how old does that make this bridge? Construction here must be really slow. James was apparently the only one in the bike gang who had to use training wheels, but if that's the case, why are they praising him like he's some kind of bike gang god? Guy was in a bike gang and he couldn't even ride a bike. Team Rocket mocked the bike gang for riding bicycles and not unicycles, and I have to agree. Unicycles are way cooler, and anybody that can actually ride one instantly earns respect from me. Team Rocket try and get the help of the bike gang to steal all of Ash and Co.'s Pokemon when the police turn up. A lot of police too. It does make me wonder why, if there's so many police officers in this area and Nurse Joy's Pokemon medicine dilemma was such an emergency, why didn't she just ask a police officer to take the medicine across the bridge? As soon as the police turn up, the bike gang run away. Told you they weren't hard. Officer Jenny says that if Ash and the gang need to get to Sunnytown to deliver the Pokemon medicine, then she will give them an escort. Jenny, mate, it's probably best not to say the word escort in front of Brock. We don't want to give him any ideas. Apparently there's been an accident somewhere else, so Jenny can't escort them over the bridge. Bit of a shame that accident can't be handled by one of the other 100 police officers we just saw. A really heavy storm rolls in and the bike gang decide that they want Jesse and James to show them how to ride their bikes in the storm. I think that's what they want. It's not very clear. The Nurse Joy in Sunnytown is complaining that the Pokemon medicine hasn't arrived yet, and then we learn that it's just for a Shelder. A single Shelder. Well, that's no biggie. Let it die if you have to. There's loads of them.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you're being very cruel. If this was your Pokemon, you wouldn't be saying that. You wouldn't be saying let it die at all if this was yours.
But I live in the real world. I can't own a Pokemon. Just when you think things couldn't get any more difficult for our heroes, a drawbridge opens up to let a boat into the harbour, seemingly cutting off the route. You'd just give up, wouldn't you? You'd just think, oh well, the universe is clearly against me today, it's just not my day, and you take the Pokemon medicine back to Nurse Joy like, well, we tried. Now that I think about it, Nurse Joy did hand over prescription medication and Pokemon Center owned bikes to 3 random strangers just because they were in the waiting room. That's really irresponsible. They could have been anyone. It's no wonder there's so much crime around here. So apparently what the bike gang want is for Jesse, James and Meowth to do a unicycle jump across the open parts of the bridge. I still don't understand why they've suddenly decided that this stunt is what they want to see. So it turns out Ash's crew and Team Rocket all jump the gap at the exact same time from opposite directions. Oh, it's always the case, isn't it? When the bridge is down, there's nobody else for miles around. But the minute the drawbridge is up and you try and jump the gap, there's always someone coming from the opposite direction. Typical. Ash and Co make it across the gap by bouncing on Team Rocket's heads with their bicycles, which I don't even think is possible. Like, I'm pretty sure gravity would have something to say about this. But even if it could happen, how cruel do you have to be to try and bunny hop on someone's head with a bloody bike? So Ash and Co make it to the other side and Team Rocket, unicycles and all, plunge into the ocean, seemingly to their deaths. I guess we'll never be seeing them again. The bike gang challenge Ash to another Pokemon battle, but Ash explains that he's delivering medicine to the Pokemon Center. And apparently this is enough to convince the bike gang to escort them to the Pokemon Center. Honestly, this is the lamest gang I've ever seen. You can't be a gang of bullies and then also have a conscience. That's absurd. Nurse Joy is waiting at the Pokemon Center with a face like,
The Shelder's as good as dead. What's the fucking point?
Shelder is instantly healed by the medicine, which I was going to question, but that is kind of how it works in the games. The bike gang says from now on they'll call Ash Awesome Ash and they'll call Misty
Mighty Misty.
And Ash is pulling the same face that I pulled when I first heard those cringy nicknames. What were they thinking? I'm just saying, James was riding a unicycle underwater with both Meowth and Jesse's weight added and wasn't even holding his breath. James is superhuman. Pass it on. So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 36, The Bridge Bike Gang. Let me know your favorites down in the comments below and any that I missed. Hit like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel like the wonderful people here, do pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainLiam and save 30% off G Fuel until September 7th. Use code ACE. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.